Welcome. Welcome to Is This a Cosmic Joke? I am Allison here with Jupiter Moon, where we rarely have any idea what will come out of our mouths until it's spoken. So, Jupiter, what's up right now?
Okay. Well, going through the ascension process is amazing, isn't it?
That's one word I'd use. Amaze. Going back and forth in a maze. Yes.
Yes. So I would say that a lot that's coming up probably I would say the past 2 weeks, but recently in the past few days, is all the ego and all the old energies are coming to the surface for you to sit there and look at, is what I've been experiencing. So, yeah. And that's been interesting just to see how much the ego just really tries to override when you're trying to be in the heart center space. And it's just like my experience that I had last night, that was just crazy, with the beam of light that just went through my third eye. It went whew, through my third eye, and my whole body's like completely on fire after that for like 6 hours, and it's achy, and I'm like dying, and counsel's like, "You're gonna be okay." So that was crazy. And then waking up, I was telling you that the ego, as soon as I got out of the dream state, the ego was just pulling up so much stuff, worries, fears. What if you can't do this? What if you're not going to make it? Or just so much ego stuff just as soon as I woke up. And I was like, wow, I just couldn't believe how much was coming up at that time. So.
Yeah, I've had that too in the last few days, to the point where it's even just gnawing at you like, well, who are you? What are you, what can you do? You can't do anything. And look at how stuck you are. And look at all this crap that you've created for yourself. And it's like, shut up. Oh my God, just shut up. Because it starts to get into that roller coaster of where we've been before. And it's like, it's perfect. I mean, I'm glad it records things, but I really don't want to relive and recognize all this old stuff again, because I want it to go. I want to be in a new way of being. And I do think we have reset a new template. That's supposedly what we're doing right now.
Oh no,
this week.
That's definitely what we're doing, because during that whole experience last night with the beaming light through my third eye.
Congratulations.
I was like, oh, what was that? And the fire of my body being on fire for about 6 hours. That's what was shown to me in the process of coming out of my dream state, was the reset. It was literally like you could see the looping cycle of the reset. It's hard to explain, but through the mind. And I was sitting there going, whoa. So how many times did I just reset in, let's say, like a nano minute is what I was going to say. Like even like 3 or 4 seconds, I felt like I resetted maybe like 3 times. And then all the ego stuff started to come up. And I just recognized it right away. Once you recognize it, and you're able to know that it's just the ego just going, it's like a tunnel just pulling everything out. And I was like, okay, I'm getting up. Let me get up. Let me walk around. Finally, my body wasn't on fire. Let me call Allison to be like, what in the fuck is going on? And I'm going to cuss. Are we allowed to cuss?
Yeah, of course we are, because that's who we are.
Do we have to be PG? I don't know.
Yeah. Hey,
no,
authentic.
That was it. My counsel's running around going, everything's okay. Just breathe. You'll be all right. I'm like, I'm burning up here. My chest is on fire. My whole heart chakra is blazing. My stomach is completely blazing. They're like, you're going to be all right. We promise. What did my guide tell me to do? To put a cold rag on the back of my neck and put selenite on my stomach. Sure enough, it worked. I was surprised after like 4 hours. That was interesting. Oh, the crazy things that our council has us doing.
Yeah. But I'm getting to, no matter how crazy it sounds, I'm just doing it anyway. I'm like, okay, whatever. And I'll either laugh at you later and say, idiots, why'd you have me do that? Or I'll go, wow, thanks, that was nice.
Or the huge reset. Let's talk about that. A week ago? Was it a week ago? Because I don't even know in the quantum realms. When we're up in quantum, we just don't even. I think it was like a week ago where everything just. You want to explain how everything just completely reset it? Everything just went to a complete mess.
It did.
Do you want to explain exactly what happened? Because
yeah, what they showed me was that as we did our trajectory, as we do through the solar system, through the galaxies, etc., this whole huge mass of our universe, we came across a blip in energy that was just a bunch of different an energy mass, and it's like the universals weren't quite sure what would happen, and it's like they knew it was there, they knew it was going to happen, they didn't attempt for it not to happen. And as soon as we went through it, over it, whatever word they want to use, they showed me that that whole bubble just burst. And it was kind of like all of them going, huh, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to exist still, what's not going to exist still. And I'm going, what? Just kind of like, what are you guys talking about? They're like, oh, well, some things are going to be, disappearing now, and some new things will come into be that have never been before. And we don't really know what timelines is going to be. But everybody's missions were canceled. Everybody's missions were canceled. Everything that you thought you were doing, the reason you were here, is now done. And we're going to send out new missions again. And I'm like, okay, that's great. But all of us have gone through this entire chaos state of all of a sudden going, wait, I knew what I was doing. I knew where I was going. I know what's going on. And we have to step back and go, what is going on? What is this? Why do I feel like I'm completely lost? And then we had like silence. It was like bits and pieces of information coming through. And they're like, we're figuring it out. We're figuring it out, which was great, but not so much for us on the earthly. And the biggest thing seems to be that they've just wanted us to continue with our spiritual hygiene, so to speak. Do the things that we know to do. Do your daily clearing, do your daily meditation, keep your head straight, and knock down all the ego stuff that comes up. They did say that the humans did much better than they expected, which is great, but they also indicated that means they thought that they could up the speed a little bit of which they thought they were going to roll all this out. So as we've seen in the last week or so, it's felt like years of everything happening in a row just to get us to this point where we are.
Exactly. And then getting to do assignments, that took a while too. It was almost as if like everyone was like, what happened?
Yeah.
Like what just happened? I think some of them that are very much maybe more in tuned, I don't know, I don't want to say that might be wrong, that actually noticed that there was that something huge just happened. And I would say it was like, what was it, around July 21st, right?
I think it was the week before, the 14th maybe.
Yeah,
I think it was.
Where it was almost like, what happened? Like it was very very intense and very crazy. And even my counsel was going, okay, well, we can go here, go there. And I'm like, okay, where are we going? Give me some time to regroup and let's figure this out. For those who are listening, when we say that, it's basically like being guided to certain places to, let's say, spread light codes, or just to help clean up and raise the vibrations of the location of where we're being told to go. Certain assignments, you could be, for instance, working with maybe somebody, or you're working in this direction and then everything just got cut off and now you're working in a complete different other direction. It's just very interesting. A lot of interesting things that were coming up. Yeah. And my counsel's just running around like, everything's fine, you're okay. Just go with the flow with it. And I'm just sitting there going, what happened, you guys? Like, and the other thing I experienced is like almost as if I was experiencing the Dark Night all over again within a week. That was interesting too. To the point where I was asking Allison, I was like, was I even awake? I mean, I always had my abilities. I had, had my abilities, had my light languages and everything, you know, flowing through, and always, you know, being full communication with my guides and everything. But it was almost as if like more like illusions just like completely just like dissolved. And I was like, wow, like, okay, so I feel like I'm just waking up again, or is it like a new awakening, is what I was saying. And see, that's really funny, because I would say like around what, July 14th or like the July 10th is when we got the new Kundalini upgrade, the
Yes.
new universal Kundalini upgrade. So imagine if there's new Kundalini, and this was like the third one that came through as a download, you would probably experience a new awakening again, because it's a whole new system.
That's
Does
kind
that
of
make
what I
sense? See,
wondered.
now I'm actually figuring that out,
Yeah.
because now that I'm looking at the pattern, I'm like, wow, okay, so that makes a lot of sense. Why would it be a new awakening? Why would it be a new reset? If we're on a new universal, we get a huge download upgrade for it would be like the third universal Kundalini awakening. So you would be resetting and going through everything again. They just,
Yeah, because I
wow,
thought
okay.
the same thing, because it was like, I feel like I'm just waking up, and I'm like, am I just waking up with everyone else? So was my awakening just a stage that wasn't a full awakening? Was it just a partial awakening? You know, what is this? Because I don't know. And I agree with you. When the third Kundalini came through, which was a kick, total kick, like overheating, ridiculous, you know, tingles up the neck. It was just crazy, but cool. I mean, it was great. But then this last week, it's as though we've had a new start again, and we've started all over. And it's like, okay, now am I awake? And is it like with everyone that's waking up, is this like the real awakening now, or are we still in some quasi awakening that, you know, we're going to do it again and again, each time with more people as they awake? The one thing that I just recalled was when they talked about us going through the energy blip, after that time, the collective consciousness was no longer just the earth, because we have a consciousness, collective consciousness of the earth. We also were then a greater part of the universal consciousness, which means
Okay.
all planets, all beings, all everything else that's out there, all of the consciousnesses merged, so it became this other consciousness. So in essence, are we actually waking up on a different level where all the consciousnesses are at the same time? That it's more of a universal awakening and not just the earth? Because we've gone through the earth awakening, I think. So people that are just waking now are actually didn't awaken during the earth awakening, they're awakening during the universal awakening. Which could mean there's another one. We've still got Christed oversouls and, you know,
That's like the whole other, okay, so they're explaining number one, we're portals. Okay, me and you are portals. That's what they want. They're trying to say something. We know this. They want us to remember during
okay.
the whole. We're sitting there running around going, what's going on? You know, frantic. They're saying that we're a portal. So because we're such open portals, okay, and that we've been doing work for the collective, when that happened, we're going through the awakening for massive soul groups and collectives.
Yeah.
So, and experiencing our own stuff at the same time, that on the deep cellular level, that needs to be pulled up for us to look at so we can clear it. And that's karmic too, which that explains a lot. Now, what they're telling me
Yeah,
explains what I would.
other higher selves karmic, not just mine. I get it.
Yes, exactly. All the higher selves, and then you have the oversoul. Then does oversoul have karma? And then we have the next one up. So maybe.
Your oversoul does, because it allowed something that it shouldn't have allowed, and I will call karma on it for that.
Exactly. Where were the police then? Going, oversoul, what are you doing? I'm trying to fix it. I'm trying to fix it. Give me a second. It's already done. So your oversoul's going, what happened? So I'm like, God, wait a minute. I thought you should know all this. All the technology. It's actually inside of us, which is really funny. Is that they explain, that's something else that would be like, you know, pulling the light energy through the crown.
Yeah.
through the chakra system. They're actually like it's in you.
Yes.
So they're like sitting there going, so this is a new thing they taught me, is that when you do this, just pull it through you. You don't need to don't imagine out, you know, you can, there's different axes where you can pull light in and stuff like that, but that's a whole other story. Anyways, I'm looping. So they said that there's going to be a 4th stage of the universal Kundalini awakening. So there's going to be another stage of this coming.
That's what September is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, I'm writing this down. Okay.
Yeah, I knew September was going to be a massive overhaul, is all they would tell me. And I'm like, wait, another one?
Should we go get tents? Can we go live out in the woods for this one? Please.
No, it'd be worse. But yes.
No, come on. It has to be. We're going to need some gear for this one. Because I'm literally going to have to lay outside naked. Because I'll be burning on fire. I'm hot. Like, it's hot. Pour some water. I need to be next to a stream, please.
Oh, gosh.
We'll get some comfy blow-up beds, though.
Yeah, that's true.
September is literally like a day away in the quantum realm.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
Yeah, everything goes. Okay, so, all right. So anyone who's watching, so in September is going to be another universal Kundalini upgrade. So this will be our 4th stage. Those of you that are listening to our portals, just know that you could be also clearing for the collective as well. But what they say is portals is that we're all, it's soul group, it's all genetic. So it goes in genetics and deep DNA cellular level is what they're explaining to me right now. So our soul groups, we could be clearing for our soul groups, the ones that are not up to par yet, too, on top of it.
Which is
all the way.
Sorry.
Okay. They're saying all the way up to the oversouls too, which is the higher selves.
Yeah. Those are our replicants. That's what I was going to say. Everyone in our replicant line that came from the original soul is what we're cleaning up for. Because we're actually merging them, but remember we were merging them outside of our physical forms. We're not doing this in our bodies because that causes problems. Just saying.
Do it out of the physical body.
Oh.
Personal experience.
There's probably many people that are going through that now. It's like they've got things coming up or they're working through ego issues or whatever. And try to remember it's not necessarily this higher self that is responsible for this vessel, because the other higher selves, as they recognize there's a vessel that is doing the work, they are attempting to come into to resolve their own stuff, as we're also aware of. So it becomes drawing that line of I will work with the other higher selves, but mostly at this point, I'm attempting to send them all back to the oversoul. That's the oversoul's job. It's your job to run through all the higher selves and help who needs it and redistribute who can help who.
Yeah. And pairing them up. Well, you can sit and pair them up too as well.
Yeah.
Which you explain that. Getting them all to sit and actually and work, and work as a team, because it's basically pulling all the nights and lights together as one, which I told you to me is just creating the ultraviolet ray, which is the oneness. That's what I call it, the whole.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's part of what the crew has been telling me too, is I just say Kumbaya. That's my newest thing of calling in all of the higher selves, which for anyone watching, for me, the higher selves are any of the incarnations that my soul has had through all time, space, dimensions, past, present, and future. All of those me's has a higher self in whatever form or no form. So all of these higher selves are doing their thing right now, because there is no time, and going through whatever it is. So in the ones that are light, that are, doing what we would consider good stuff, and those that are night, that may be doing things that are according to their own programming, that they don't know better, then that's what they're doing, is I'll just ask that the highest of the highest of the highest of my higher self that can and will work with this other higher self that's a night one, step up and help them. show them, guide them, be their mentor, so to speak, in assisting them. So basically, I'm putting other me's in contact with other me's throughout time, space, dimensions, etc., to assist and help me, which I'm
Yes.
also calling in for myself. I'm going, there's many times I go, I need the highest of the highest of the highest of my higher selves to come down here now, because I'm having some issues. My human is having some issues, and I need some help. And sometimes they
The human self is not happy. The
yeah,
human self is not going to agree with what's going on. So you have a lot of different what would you say, I guess, identities. Your human self
exactly.
is literally screaming and going, what the hell is going on? Doesn't want to do anything, doesn't want to sits and resists, with all the ego stuff coming up too. The human between the ascension symptoms and then the coming up and then the releasing from the heart center, the human self really takes a toll. So on not kind of like freaking out, and then with all the energy that's coming through and the photonic light that's coming through into your body, your human self is going like freaking out. Like I'm going hot. Like what is going on? Like this is it, because the ascension is in the physical body, and it's not understanding. And it wants to make up all these things. Oh, I'm dying. Oh, I can't breathe. Oh, this is it. You are dying, in a sense.
In a sense.
You will die, maybe a few times. Not actually die, but you have your
Personalities. Yeah, the
your
personalities.
personalities are going to die. You have your ego deaths. I mean, I don't know. I've experienced some going out of the body and being slammed back in. So that right there a few times is my personal experience, because I was so stubborn and in resistance at that point in time. And that's the only thing that I can come to terms with, where they were just like, boom, put you back in. And it happened a few times. So, yeah. And I also like to access things that, that my counselor would be like, caution. Like,
Oh, look, shiny key. I wonder where this is going to work.
Where's this door going to open to? No. Whoever's watching this probably like, what? Never. So the human is going to have a lot of issues with what's going on, and then the pain in the physical body too. The emotional pain. So you have the emotional pain, then you have the physical pain too. Also, that will be coming up. If you just recognize that it's just showing you where you have resistance at in the body, and just let it flow. The emotional pain, just cry and let it out. And even if it takes a few days, but try to go back into your heart center. Heart center meditation, in all honesty, is the only thing that's been getting me through, especially the last couple of weeks. And really just focusing and waking up every morning and going, no, this is, I love myself, respect, honor, integrity. Basically, my list. Connect to the
Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
I agree, and it's been interesting of the stuff that's coming up, and to just let it be there instead of going, well, you did this to me, or this is what happened, or these are the circumstances around it. It doesn't matter. All it is a pocket of something that, as the light is, blasting through my body, again, it came just like the universe. I mean, I guess it's a perfect analogy. It came across something within the body that's like needs to be dispersed and broken up. And when you break up a pocket within you that's anger, fear, resentment, betrayal, whatever, grief, you're going to feel it, because it's like it's popping it open. And it's like either you can express it and just let it come on out, or you can attempt to, refile it. But I'm done with the refiling. No. It's just going to have to come out, because I'm not making new filing cabinets for this stuff and making up stories and putting it back in. It's got to go.
Yeah. I'm playing into the stories. Some of the us that are really openly psychic and with their abilities will experience stuff in their dreams too. you also, you'll be able to experience very intense, even to know the truth about certain things too. You there?
You're freezing. That's weird.
I know.
Okay. Do we need to pick a different subject for the moment? Clear, 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 clear.
Is it? Is it?
No interference.
Yeah. I am up in the mountains. I'm sitting on a mountain, so it could be that too. There's no signal barely any out here. So there's a 5. Another thing they said, there's gonna be another ego upgrade. What we went through right now is called stage 5.
Okay.
Okay, so this is what's coming up, especially for the new moon energies right now. And that's the reason why everything's being pulled up, all the old, all the ego stuff that's still residing, and they're saying the last 14 years. So that's what I got, though.
That's what I got too. And that's been a little rough. But again, the way that I saw it and I wrote it up is the last 14 years, and it's as though the oversoul is standing there going, okay, what are your choices? I mean, we're cycles upon cycles. You know, we have 14-year cycles and 13,000-year cycles and however many other cycles there happens to be. But the oversoul's standing there with a clipboard going, oh, you want to do that some more? Okay. You want to do that? Okay. And it's like it's watching and monitoring. Am I changing my behavior? Am I changing my thoughts? Am I doing something that's more conducive to the authentic me or not? And it's like in the last few days, I'm like, oh no. I mean, I'm just changing every daily habit that I have and just doing things different. Like us starting and doing this, it's like, no, we're doing things differently. I am proving to the oversoul that I am ready for a new timeline, and let's completely change and start this cycle, because I don't want the old stuff dumped in here again. No more re-experiencing things that I've already done.
Exactly. I think we're gonna have fun though. This is just because both of our worlds just got rocked big time. And that's another thing right before, because I don't know how much time we have, but another thing is they wanted to explain another thing that's going on too, environmental. So during the right now, if your environment and you're going through the ascension process right now, or spiritual awakening, if your environment is not in your highest and best, it's going to collapse. So you will be shifted and you will be moved out as fast as possible, is something that they were explaining too. So that's from my personal experience. Yeah. If it's a vibrational frequency of the alignment is not correct, and it's not the right frequency, or if let's say you've learned the lessons that you needed to learn, and you're moving higher in the vibration, and they're like, it could be anyway, family or loved ones that are big, massive changes are going to happen. Just ride through it as much as you can, because it is for the highest and best. And that's something that they wanted me to touch base on, is environmental changes. And then of course, like earth environmental changes, of course, we saw all the earthquakes that happened too. So a lot of things are going to be changing, politics, everything else. So I'm not going to get into politics though.
Yeah.
Not mine.
And may it be done abundantly, quickly.
That's yours. And may it be done. Just trust, because your council knows, your higher self, okay, or whoever the highest of the highest that's in charge, is what I say, knows what it's doing. And also your council knows what it's doing. But it's just like right now, it's just like huge shifts. Like things just need to be shifted completely. So big environmental changes, big time. Also, veils. Your veils will be also lifted too, being able to see more energies, more auras and stuff. Just roll with it if you happen to start seeing that stuff. This is what they're telling me, that there's a lot more people, their third eyes are going to be opening more, and the heart's going to be expanding more. So they're going to be seeing a lot more through the different dimensions and stuff.
So don't freak out. We're here. We'll help you in any way we can. We've been through crap.
If you see purple floating orbs, it's okay. If you see huge tunnels of light standing in front of you, or things, you know, beautiful, like it kind of looks like, you know, spiral vortexes stuff, or you'll actually see in a dimensional being beautiful sparkly lights standing in your bedroom. It's okay. It's normal to us. Like
It
we
is.
It is though. And I can see better in the dark than I can during the day. So I can, if I'm walking, I don't need to turn the lights on because I have this huge light, and then I can see my guides, and I'm like, excuse me, pardon me, guys, I don't mean to walk right through you, but if you could shift over here.
And I've been noticing it's like probably the last 2 days. I think it's been the last 2 days where it's like out of the corner of my eye there is something or someone, and it's almost like a dimensional window. Like you can just like peer through and see things completely different.
Have you been seeing them?
Yeah.
They look like windows. Some of them look like doors, but I'll just be sitting there going, what is that? Like I'll be sitting there with my counsel and just in there like, well, you know what it is. And I'll be sitting there like trying to open it. That might have been something I did.
Oh. How many times have I said that going, ooh, what did I do? What did I just do?
What did I do? Did you not? So my counsel would be like, do you not remember that you did this, and that? And I was like, oh, yeah.
No. The alchemy of, yeah.
Don't you remember? I forgot. Yeah, I did. Okay. But so the windows, I've been seeing the windows.
Yeah.
Small. And then some of them are actually really big. And they're just like floating around. And then the green, like streaming green auras was yesterday. Like and then, oh my God, remember what a couple days ago, it looked like there was meteor showers, like literally coming down around me. Oryx, and I was like, wow, that's download though.
Yeah, because I've noticed a lot of flashes lately. It's like you just see flash, 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 and I'm like, what? The end of the world? What is this?
That was your experience. Mine went poof right through my head. I was like, ah.
So I got them in little bits. I didn't get one.
I know. Like, of course I did, because they're like, yeah, let's just blast her. Why not?
See, we got it covered. Whichever way, people.
Who's our favorite guinea pig?
I think you need to relook at that doing things the hard way. Just, rewrite the Merkaba just a little bit.
Okay, I'm going to write that down. That's it. Just go full throttle. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm going to sit back and sit there. Just like, I'll be like, oh, this is a good idea. Don't do that. Finally, they're getting wiser. They're like, can you just rest for a few weeks and then you can go and try to do your idea of whatever it was. What was it? Trying to go get a download for, I don't know. I can't remember. From one of my other lives, like knowledge.
Like, we're going to crack it. We're going to crack it.
I know. And just opening up everything.
True.
That's fun. But yeah, so what else? Let's see if they have anything else.
Be prepared to change. Just be prepared to change. Know that every change that is coming is for your highest. You can resist if you want to. You have free will to do that. However, you will just be walking yourself through an old cycle again. You'll get another opportunity, but you might as well just do it now. Jump.
Yes. You should definitely. And just do it. If it's just take the leap of faith and just jump in and just do it. You see what happens. So
True.
It's fun. You can go through the certain turmoil parts, but try to get yourself out of there as quick as possible, and just know that you're being led in the right direction too. It takes a lot of will to be able to focus on that, to really sit there and say, I'm getting out of this vibration. I choose not to live here anymore. I don't want to stay here. This is not the vibration frequency I want to be at. And also, any of the mindset too. So.
Agreed. All right. I guess until tomorrow.
Until tomorrow. Yeah. Tomorrow let's touch base. We'll touch base on a few other things. I have some ideas.
Okay, cool.
Also, because some of us, I want to talk about parenting too. And I don't know why that comes up, because some of us are going through ascension process and that are parents or grandparents, and we could touch base on that.
Sounds good. Okay.
Awesome.
See you
All
later.
right. We love you guys. Thank
Love
you for
you.
tuning in. It will get better. This is our first one.
True. Sayonara.
Bye now.